Hi everyone! Today we are going to make maps of Maine. You're going to need a couple things to get started with this project. You're going to need this packet that you had received in your first learning bag. Now, do not panic if you have misplaced it or if you have already done some of this packet. We're going to be using this as a resource, and I can attach the pages that you might need on a Google Classroom in case you might have misplaced it. And then in your second learning bag, you all have a folder. It's different colors, and it says, "Hi 3ZB, wait to use these papers until I give you directions." So in this folder, you're going to find a piece of paper that looks like this and is a big version of the Maine map that you'll see in the packet. Okay, so this is more put this packet together while we were getting ready that Monday and Tuesday before you received your packets. And essentially on this page is a page that you can color. It shows you where the Atlantic Ocean is and where our country neighbor to the north, Canada, is. It shows the New England states so that you can figure out all the states that are in our region. It's Maine and its neighbors, so that's for coloring and for fun. And then on this page, this is a page that Mrs. Moore outlined. This is a model page to help you with this page. It's the same, except this one is filled out. Mrs. Moore filled this one out. This is the page where it says Maine Map that is going to help you actually make your map. So you're going to be following these directions here by labeling the country, state, and ocean that border Maine, highlight and label the following rivers. So you're going to walk yourself through, and this will tell you what to do. It asks you to use certain colors. Now, of course, I didn't send home any colors in your learning bag, so if you have colored pencils or crayons or markers at your house, you can decide what to do. Remember, we're always working on neat professional work, writing clearly. These should be written in capital letters because they're proper nouns, so you should be starting these names with capital letters, and all of the letters inside the name should be lowercase. You should make sure that you are writing legibly, and you might want to write in pencil first and then trace over in a fine black or dark colored marker or colored pencil. If you write in pencil first and make a mistake, you can easily erase it. That's a helpful tip for the rest of your life. All right. So I'm just going to walk you through the packet, and then today you can take your time at your house and make your Maine map. I'd be excited to see them. This page, I'm going to read to you, it's Maine's geographical regions. And on the map, you'll notice that Mrs. Moore has separated it into 3 different areas. Here, listen as I read this to you. It's written for an adult. Maine's geographical regions. There are many things to learn about the great state of Maine. There are also many ways to study those things. Often the people who do the most studying are scientists and historians. They want to know about Maine's past. They want to know about the way things are right now so they can understand why things are the way they are. One way scientists study Maine is by dividing it into regions, like what you're going to do on your map. One kind of region is called a physical region. A physical region is a part of the state that is physically different from the rest of the state. There are 3 major physical regions in Maine. The other kind of region is called a tourist region. These are the regions that people like to visit on their vacations. Regions can be made up of many things, but they always have one thing that sets them apart from the other areas. What are some of the regions in Maine? Are they physical or tourist regions? Are there kinds of plants that only grow in these regions? Are there different languages spoken? Plants and language are only 2 of the many ways to define a region. Yet, they tend to be 2 of the most common. The first of Maine's physical regions is the White Mountain region. And you'll notice here, can you see the White Mountain region on there? And you're going to label that on your map. This region takes up much of the western and central parts of Maine. This area of the state is the most rough and thickly forested region. The mountains here are usually between 2,500 and 4,000 feet high. Oh my goodness, Mount Katahdin. Mount Katahdin, which is 5,267 feet high, Baxter State Park that I'm writing about, right, is in this region in the central part of the state. The mountains are made mostly of granite that has been worn down by erosion. The second region is the New England upland. Let's take a look at the map again. Can you find the New England upland? This region covers northern, eastern, and central Maine. It is the largest natural region in the state. This region is a rolling, heavily forested plateau. A plateau is a piece of land that rises up steeply but is flat on top. The elevation here stays mostly between 1,100 and 1,250 feet. This region has many rivers and lakes. Unique to this region are eskers. These are long, narrow ridges of earth and gravel. They were left after the glaciers. Maine's last physical region is the seaboard lowlands, and that's where we are, in the seaboard lowlands. This region lies between the New England upland and the Atlantic Ocean. It is as narrow as 20 miles in some areas. It is as broad as 500 miles in other areas. The seaboard has mostly gently rolling hills, but in some places there are rugged mountains and steep hills. Cadillac Mountain, for example, is on Mount Desert Island. It is the highest mountain on the Atlantic coast north of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It rises 1,530 feet above sea level. Did you read that Acadia National Park Raz Kids book that was in your first learning bag? I bet Cadillac Mountain was mentioned in that book. How does it help to divide Maine up into regions like this? It is helpful to study areas that have things in common. Scientists can learn about what happened to Maine a long time ago by studying what it looks like now. They can know what parts of Maine were, for example, covered in glaciers the longest. It was much easier to study changes in physical regions when the scientists can compare features of those regions. Okay, so now if we walk our way through the rest of the booklet, this page shows you lakes and rivers in our state. Again, you can color or just look. Maybe you can mark down some of the lakes that you might have been to with your family. And then there's 16 counties in our state of Maine. We are in York County. Oops, you know what? I'm learning how, it's like the document camera at school, right? See York County down at the southern tip of Maine there? And there are 15 other counties in our state of Maine. So this, you can shade the different counties different colors if you'd like. And Mrs. Moore also gave us a copy of the Maine County song, and you can sing it to the tune of Yankee Doodle. All right, 3ZB, have fun making your maps. I always find coloring really relaxing, so hopefully you will find this a relaxing activity at your houses. Miss you.